Good morning, everybody. The time is 9:30. Call the March 14th, 2023 meeting of the Mill Creek Township Board of Supervisors to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have a Mill Creek Police Department promotion of Lieutenant Chris Hauber to Captain. Chief Mook.
Yes, sir. I'm requesting approval to promote Lieutenant Christopher Hauber to the rank of Captain. Due to restructuring of responsibilities and needs of the MPD, Hauber will now be transitioning from Special Services Officer to Commander of the Special Services Division. Lieutenant Hauber was born and raised in Mill Creek and is a graduate of McDowell High School and also Edinburgh University. In 2001, he was hired by the Mill Creek Police Department as a patrol officer, and in 2007 was promoted to Detective Corporal and transferred to investigations. While working as a detective, he conducted death investigations, arson investigations. He contributed to the Regional Drug Investigation Task Force and headed the department's firearms training program. In 2016, Hauber was promoted to Detective Sergeant and named MPD SWAT Team Commander, where he provided tactical leadership through numerous critical incidents, dignitary visits, and high-risk warrant services. In 2021, Hauber was promoted to Lieutenant and transferred to the Special Services Division, where he implemented the department's body-worn camera program and provided leadership to the department's civilian staff and the township's Emergency Communications Center. So again, it's my recommendation to promote Lieutenant Hauber to the rank of Captain today.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions or comments from the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would just like to congratulate, I'm going to, of course, make the motion for now Captain Hauber's promotion, but I just want to extend a congratulations to Captain Hauber, because I know that you're taking on more responsibility, and I want you to know what you bring. I want everyone to know what you bring to the table within the police department. We don't just come to you for your candy bowl. There is so much more to you. Thank you very much for all that you do and for all that you provide for our police officers and for our community. So I'll make a motion to promote Lieutenant Hauber to Captain Hauber.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Ouellette?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chris. Okay, next up on our agenda is the oath of office for probationary police officer Philip Monroe. Chief?
Yes, Officer Monroe started with us yesterday, so I request that he be sworn in as our newest police officer.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, Philip A. Monroe,
I, Philip A. Monroe,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of Mill Creek Township Police Officer
and that I will discharge the duties of a Mill Creek Township police officer
in Mill Creek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
in Mill Creek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
believe there's a reception out there for anybody that does not want to stick around for the rest of the meeting. Including Mrs. Clear. Looks like she's going for the cookies. Okay, next up is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning. If anybody wishes to comment on anything that's listed on the agenda other than development or rezoning. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes from our February 28th, 2023 regular meeting. Any questions or comments on the minutes?
No.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Approval of the bills. Any questions or comments on the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We have some bids and quotations. First up, service truck purchase, Public Works. Rob?
Thank you. Good morning. The garage is seeking approval to purchase a new Chevy 3500 HD 4x4 diesel service truck from Hallman Chevrolet. The existing one-ton service truck has reached the end of its useful life and will be traded in with a value of $7,500. Total price for this vehicle after trade-in is $69,435 under CoStar's contract 25-109. Funds for this truck will be taken from the one-ton service truck line of the fleet maintenance capital budget, leaving a balance of $5,565. It is my recommendation to purchase this truck from Hallman Chevrolet.
Thank you, Rob. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Excuse me. Next up is the fire vehicle purchase. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, there are two agreements that'll be before the supervisors. I can go through each together, I believe. Mill Creek Township is acquiring a 2017 Ford F-550 chassis with a 2005 Marion rescue body from Westlake Fire Department for $75,000. The vehicle has approximately 8,700 miles on it. Presented for your vote is an agreement for the purchase of that vehicle with an accompanying bill of sale that Westlake is to execute upon the purchase. The vehicle will be titled in the name of the township. The recommendation would be to approve this agreement and the purchase of the fire vehicle. In addition, before you is a lease agreement between the township and West Ridge Fire Department for the lease of that vehicle that is going to be purchased from Westlake to West Ridge. The lease term is 7 years. Under the lease, West Ridge will be responsible for all vehicle maintenance and repair, including inspections. Please note that we're still kind of working on the final insurance information on that, but the recommendation would be to approve this lease agreement subject to receipt of the acceptable insurance coverages and limits and subject to execution and transfer of title of the fire vehicle from Westlake.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions or comments on the vehicle purchase and lease agreement?
I'll make a motion for approval as described by Attorney Shaw.
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, we have a zoning vehicle purchase, planning and development. Mr. Waldinger?
Thank you. Good morning. Planning and Development is seeking to purchase a 2023 Chevrolet Equinox for the zoning office to replace a 2013 Ford Taurus Police Interceptor that is reaching the end of its life. We received a quote from Hallman Chevrolet under CoStar's contract 25-109 for $27,285, and Hallman valued the trade-in of the 2013 Taurus at $2,000, bringing the cost of the new vehicle to $25,285. I would recommend the purchase of this 2023 Equinox from Hallman Chevrolet for the CoStar's price of $25,285 after trade-in. This item would be paid for from the zoning vehicle replacement line item in the capital budget, leaving $9,715 for reserves.
That Taurus, the 2013, that wasn't the one that had the nickname.
Black Betty? No, it was not.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we giving it a proper
Yeah.
send-off. Okay.
Correct, no.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the purchase of the Equinox?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Change order number 3, Wilkins Run Stream Restoration Project. Matt?
Yes, thank you. Mill Creek has previously engaged Civil and Environmental Consultant Incorporated, known as CEC, in the design and permitting of the Wilkins Run Stream Restoration Project, which is to implement Mill Creek's pollutant reduction plan. Due to project impacts within a special flood hazard area designated Zone A, additional base flood elevations and floodway information, as well as notification to FEMA in the form of a conditional letter of map revision, is required per Mill Creek Township Ordinance. CEC has provided a change order to reflect the additional services and costs associated with the map revision, also known as a CLOMAR, in the amount of $48,000. An additional $6,500 FEMA CLOMAR submittal fee would also be required. The funds would come from the Wilkins Run PRP construction line item within the capital budget. Before you is the change order agreement between the township and CEC detailing the scope of services, compensation, and the obligations relative to both parties. I would recommend that the board approve the change order agreement to reimburse CEC for the additional services and design costs of $48,000 and approve the additional cost of the FEMA CLOMAR submittal fee of $6,500, and also for the chairman to sign the change order agreement.
Thank you, Matt. Is there a motion to approve this as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Glenwood Pump Station Generator. Rob?
The Sewer Department is seeking approval to purchase a new generator for the Glenwood Pump Station. The existing generator has reached the end of its useful life and will be traded in with a value of $8,000. One quote was received from Cleveland Brothers for a total price after trade-in of $87,880 under CoStar's contract 4400019950. Funds for this generator will be taken from the Glenwood generator line of the 2022 sanitary sewer capital budget, leaving a balance of $12,120. Delivery of this generator was originally intended for the 2022 budget year, but manufacturing delays caused a later delivery date. It is my recommendation to approve this generator purchase from Cleveland Brothers.
That was my question, Rob. I thought this was already in place, but that was because it was ordered last.
It was ordered, it never did go through a meeting though.
Oh, it never did go through a meeting. Okay,
No.
so the generator currently in use is still functioning, but it's near end of life.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the new generator for the Glenwood Pump Station?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a replacement of the Asbury Park restroom and utility closet doors. Ashley Marsteller?
Thank you. The Parks and Recreation Department would like to replace the doors, frames, and locks of 3 doors, the men's, the women's, and the utility closet area of the Asbury Park restroom facility. All 3 doors would be steel, and it is the recommendation of the Parks Department to include automated time locks on the men's and women's rooms doors. The addition of a time lock system will assist hopefully in curbing vandalism and undesired activity in the late evening hours of the park. Quotes were obtained for the project from Builders Hardware for a price of $9,756, Corporate Glass for a price of $15,835, and Shaw Glass Company declined to quote the project. Builders Hardware supplied the lowest quote of the $9,756. There was $5,000 allotted for the door replacement in the Parks and Recreation capital improvement budget, leaving a deficit of $4,756. This deficit would be made up from $2,629 in the Parks and Recreation capital budget reserve. $1,200 would come from a capital budget allotment for reconditioning 2 pool pumps, which after inspection we determined do not need to be reconditioned this year. And the remaining balance of $927 would come from the property maintenance line item of the Parks and Recreation operational budget. So it is my recommendation to approve the Asbury Park restroom and utility closet door replacements with automated time locks for the men's and women's room by the lowest quote received from Builders Hardware.
Okay, thank you, Ash. We recently did some other improvements up there, correct? The floor?
Yes.
I was up there, I believe, a week or 2 ago, and
It's been painted, the floor has been replaced, it's been improved and upgraded to hopefully create a better visitor experience.
very good. Okay.
Sorry.
It's what we do, yeah.
It's important.
It is important. I want to feel good
Okay,
there.
understood. Is there a motion to approve the new utility closet doors at the Asbury Park restroom?
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Kim.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
Number 9 on our agenda, new amended ordinances under review. The first one is the solid waste and recycling ordinance amendment. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, I'll do both of them.
Okay, sir.
First is, there's going to be some changes being made to the waste ordinance, I think solely to the, kind of the billing section of the ordinance to reflect the proposed new method of billing through Erie Waterworks. And then second, the sewer ordinance, we're making changes to the methodology regarding the rate setting, since the authority no longer exists and the township is handling those matters. We're making those changes to reflect that, so.
Okay, does the sewer ordinance reflect the new rate?
Yeah, it's going to be, it reflects the methodology of how that's, published and decided upon.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
None here, no.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
There's no action is needed.
Oh,
at this
no
point.
action
Yeah,
needed?
it's just letting folks know that that's being
Okay.
worked on. They should
And-
be up on the website shortly.
Okay,
And
thank
for
you.
the, sorry, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
Just so that the public knows, and for those watching at home, as a reminder, many of you have seen, maybe in Mill Creek Magazine, you will also be receiving a postcard, if you haven't received one already, that the waste management bill will now be included with the water bill that they receive, and they pay quarterly. So, just so that it's in one more place. I know we've tried to get the word out there. So, and do we have anything on the website? Do you know, Ms. Stutzman?
There is an FAQ page going on the website.
Okay.
It's ready to launch as soon as possible. We're just ironing out a couple questions that we're getting through the switchboard.
Okay.
So we've collected answers for all of those questions, and it'll be published very soon.
Great. And then social media too? Okay, thank you so much, Sam.
Maybe 2 important points on that. The rates aren't changing, just,
That's correct. We're just following the exact same bid
the-
that Waste Management
Right.
proposed, just billing from a different vendor.
Right, the waste management bill is what it would have been had it been billed separately, and the sewer is a fixed rate and the water is metered.
Exactly.
And this is, my understanding is it's done commonly in other municipalities. This is nothing new, but it's new for the township, so,
That's correct. And there's no change to the pay-as-you-throw program. That's still available to all the
Yeah.
residents.
okay.
And
Thank you.
for all residents just watching, tuning in for the first time, pay-as-you-throw is another great option, where you buy bags here at the township, And if you only put your bag out every other week, it actually can save you a lot of money on your waste management bill. I know some people have called and said, you know, they are worried about during the summer, could the garbage smell, but they just get bins and they keep that big bag open. I think I fit in the bag. Didn't I demonstrate that one time? I fit in the bag. But people can do that and then put in multiple garbage kitchen bags for 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, and then put it out at the curb. But recycling, no matter what, is still picked up every week. Is that correct?
That's correct. The bag is 33 gallons, and then recycling is still unlimited weekly.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, next up, number 10 on our agenda, Resolution 2023-R8, a resolution of Mill Creek Township, Erie County, Pennsylvania, to authorize the township to use remote image capture for Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust, also known as PLIGT, deposits for liquid fuels and performance bond funds, and to approve and execute the PLIGT participant agreement. Mark?
Yes, this was proposed by Pliget when the state released liquid fuels funds. They put it in our general fund checking account, which can create certain issues with the Auditor General to begin with. We immediately, on the day that the funds were deposited in the account, wrote a check to deposit in our Pliget account, but it took several days via mail to get to Philadelphia, where the lockbox is. The state gets kind of sticky about, you know, funds not being invested and earning interest. So this would help because we could shoot a picture of the check and deposit it to the account and not lose any interest in the interim. Also, too, the same process works for the deposits for the performance and surety bond. We get a check in, we've got to mail it into a lockbox, and we lose 3 to 5 days of interest on that. So by being able to snap the image of the check and deposit it, we will not lose that interest time. And so it's my recommendation that we, this is going to be done on a cell phone camera. It's not like we're going to use a scanner because it's too low volume. So, but that's, it's my recommendation that we adopt this resolution and start using it.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments from the board on this?
Not here.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2023-R8?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 11 on our agenda, Resolution 2023-R9, a resolution to approve partial funding to the Mill Creek Township General Authority for 2023. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, this is a resolution seeking to transfer from the township to the Mill Creek Township General Authority $4 million to enable it to continue operations and pursue the purposes of the authority. The closing for the Bel Air property is coming up at the end of this month, and the funds are needed to secure that property.
Okay, I noticed here in the resolution, I know it says the amount already has been approved, but it doesn't state in the resolution where the $4 million are going to be coming from.
Correct. This is the same form that we've used several times now, so that Mark had reviewed and approved.
Okay. But can we tell the audience where it's coming from?
Mark?
Mark?
It's going to come from the Water Authority sales proceeds account. Up until this time, I've been able to use the township savings, but from this point forward, it's going to have to be coming directly from the Water Authority funds.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay. Is there a motion on Resolution 2023-R9?
I'll make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote no. Next up is 2023 Code Enforcement Mowing Contract. Who's handling that?
I can, I think, cover the Matt can kind of join in. We do an annual agreement, and we've done it for some time with Zellers. for mowing and lawn cleanup when we have code enforcement issues. So if someone is failing to mow their grass or failing to maintain certain things, we use them for that. We also have used them for snow removal as well when people aren't clearing their sidewalks when they're supposed to and so forth. So they've, the renewal this year, there is some increase in their rates, although the cap of not to exceed 6,000 remains. I don't believe we've ever come close to that cap in all the time we've been doing this, but for mowing services, their neglected service will be $45 an hour, not to exceed 4 labor hours without township approval. Maintenance service will be $31.50 per labor hour with a not to exceed of 2 hours. Debris removal, $42 per labor hour with a not to exceed of 2 hours. And additional services at $42 per labor hour with the scope and limitations to be decided upon when those services are requested. In terms of snow and ice removal, for less than 1 hour, it's $26.25. For greater than 1 hour, it's $47.25 an hour. And I should say for the less than 1 hour, that's a flat fee of $26.25. Salt is $7.35 a bag, and tractor snow removal is $73.50 an hour, which includes the operator and travel time. With the exception of the neglected service, which increased from $40 to $45, the other rates have increased by 5%. As I indicated, the total not to exceed is $6,000. I believe, and today, like I said, Sellers has never exceeded this amount.
Thank you, Mark. Is there a motion to approve the 2023 code enforcement mowing contract with Zellers
I'll make that motion.
as presented? Thank you, Dan.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, we have a stormwater management maintenance agreement and acceptance of stormwater management plan. Thomas and Patricia Potter, land development plan for 3721 Zimmerly Road. Thomas and Patricia Potter, developer. Matt?
Thank you. Attached is the executed stormwater management maintenance agreement for Thomas and Patricia Potter Land Development Plan. It has been reviewed by Greenman Peterson Incorporated, which is the township's contracted third-party stormwater management reviewer. They have included a letter that it is consistent with the township's stormwater management ordinance. The document meets the township's requirements and is signed by the Potters. So it's the recommendation of the Planning and Development Department that the board vote to accept the stormwater management plan and approve the agreement as submitted with the Potters.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions on this maintenance agreement for stormwater for the Potters?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Looks like we have 2 sidewalk deferral requests. Matt?
Yes, we do. Would you like me to do them separately, or do you want me to do them?
You can do them together.
Okay. Yeah, we have 2 requests for sidewalk deferrals. I guess I'll just make a note at the outset, as the board is aware. Developers are required to put in sidewalks when they do a new development, but they can't ask for a deferral. The deferral just means that they are still obligated, but they don't have to build it at this time if there are they meet certain conditions, usually being in an area that doesn't have existing sidewalks. And both of these meet that condition at this time. So the first is a sidewalk deferral request for a new home at 4625 Millfair Road. The owner of the home, Harold and Renee Schweitzer, are requesting to defer sidewalks for the property. There are no sidewalks currently in that area along Millfair Road. It is the recommendation of Planning and Development to approve the request as submitted. They have included the sidewalks on their building permit and accounted for them in their stormwater management plan. So in the future, if they're ever required to install them, they would be covered. The second sidewalk deferral request is for a new land development, an addition to a warehouse at 4810 Pittsburgh Avenue. The developer there is Westminster Development LLC. They are also requesting to defer sidewalks on this property at this time. There are no sidewalks located along that stretch of Pittsburgh Avenue south of Grandview Boulevard. So it is, again, the recommendation of Planning and Development to approve the request as submitted. Both of the requests have signed the township forms, which are recorded, and it does stipulate the conditions under which they would be required to build the sidewalks if it came to be.
Thank you, Matt. Is there a motion to approve the 2 sidewalk deferral requests as presented?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 15 on our agenda, easement agreement request for Cider Mill Bridge replacement. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, we have, I believe there's 2 documents here for easements related to the replacement of the Cider Mill Bridge, which hopefully is slated to happen this year. Hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. But the easement both the easement documents are identical, one for each side of the bridge, owned by the same entity. There's a temporary easement for construction, as well as a permanent easement that will allow the township to install the bridge without, because there are areas that where the right-of-way would not allow that. So the recommendation would be to approve both of these easements for these 2 parcels on each side of the bridge.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Is there a motion for approval of these 2 easements for the Cider Mill Bridge project?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Vote yes. Next up, Erie Golf Course PennDOT proposal. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, PennDOT's consultant approached the township regarding allowing PennDOT to use a portion of the Erie Golf Course to enable PennDOT to meet its pollution reduction plan requirements to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. Pollution reduction plan is a program that was, I think, triggered by EPA and is being overseen by DEP that requires certain entities to implement pollutant reduction plans to reduce various contaminants that may enter streams that have been identified as problematic or that have certain issues. In this case, the stream would be Walnut Creek, and the pollutant that has been identified as sedimentation. So the pollutant reduction plan would be intended to reduce sedimentation into Walnut Creek, which runs along the golf course. There are ravines on the golf course property that may be sources of sedimentation. The consultant requested access to evaluate those ravines to determine whether it could ultimately implement a project that would reduce sedimentation and help it meet its DEP requirements. An access agreement has been drawn up between the township, the lessee of the golf course, and the PennDOT consultant to allow the consultant to have access to the golf course to get the information it needs to evaluate whether it can move forward. The term of the agreement is 15 months, which is due because of the length of time that the consultant has to gather that information. And the consultant under the agreement is not to disturb golf course operations and is to repair any damage that it may do as a result of its work. If, in fact, the consultant finds that this is an appropriate area and wants to move forward, there'll be later discussions and negotiations with PennDOT over, this area and, how it'll be managed and overseen. But this is really the first step, so the recommendation would be to approve this access agreement. And we did speak with the lessee of the golf course, and he was fine with, with this, and he's already signed, so.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Is there a motion to approve this access agreement for the golf course?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have tax assessment appeals. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, there are 2 tax assessment appeal settlements that are before you. The first one relates to a tax assessment appeal filed by Office Depot for 1980 Edinburgh Road. The parties proposed a settlement under which the assessed value for the tax years 2023 and going forward will be $1 million, subject to a countywide reassessment, a subsequent sale, or a permitted improvement. The recommendation is to approve the settlement and authorize the solicitor to execute the settlement papers. As with all of these matters, the school district is, really is the one that handles these cases. We monitor them and keep an eye on them. And so the recommendation is to approve this settlement.
Okay, this is just for Office Depot?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this tax assessment appeal for Office Depot?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
I'll second.
Second, okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have one for National
Yes,
Church
this is,
Registry.
there's a second tax assessment appeal relating to the National Church Residences property for the tax assessment for the years of 2020 through 2022. The parties propose to agree to an assessment of $732,600. Because this is a HUD property, and as such, it eliminates the ability to use the income method for purposes of appraisal. The conclusion was that this was a good number for the assessment, and the recommendation is that this settlement be approved, and that the solicitor be authorized to execute the necessary settlement documents reflecting this assessed value. It's also my understanding that any funds due would be credited to the property owner in future years.
Okay. Is there a motion on this tax assessment appeal with National Church Residences?
So move.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, next up, I believe, is going to flip-flop these. Resolution 2023 R10, resolution to provide funding to the Mill Creek Paramedic Service, and then it ties into the vehicle lease program.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
First before you is Resolution 2023 R10, which is a resolution authorizing the funding of MPS by the township in the amount of $296,662 for the year 2023. This amount would be subject to forfeiture if MPS fails to transfer title to the two ambulances it purchased via its agreement dated May 17 of 2022 with the vendor. MPS will also be required to provide an annual listing of the expenditure of these funds before MPS would be eligible for future funding. The recommendation is to approve Resolution 2023 R10, and I believe the funding is coming from the LST monies.
That is correct.
Okay, so this resolution before us is strictly for the two ambulances that were purchased in May of 2022?
Yes, this is for, again, the funding simply just for this year as well.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, next is the Mill Creek Paramedic Services Vehicle Lease Program. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, we have, first we have a purchase and sale agreement before you, and I'll do both of these together. And it's agreement between the township and Mill Creek Paramedic Services, under which MPS is going to transfer title to the two ambulances it purchased pursuant to an agreement dated May 17 of 2022 to the township in exchange for the township providing the funding under the resolution 2023 R10 that was just passed. Included in the transfer are all warranties associated with the ambulances. Attached as exhibits to the agreement are a bill of sale that is to be executed by MPS upon transfer, and the lease that is to be entered into by the parties once title is transferred. The recommendation would be to approve this agreement to obtain title to those two ambulances. In addition, as I indicated, there is a lease agreement that would be entered into by the parties once title is transferred. Upon the lease, Mill Creek will lease the ambulances to MPS for $1 a year for a period of 7 years. Under the lease, MPS is required to provide all maintenance and repairs of the ambulances, including all inspections. MPS is also required to maintain various insurance coverages on the ambulances under the lease. The recommendation would be to approve this lease of the two ambulances to MPS, as well as the prior purchase and sale agreement I discussed.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this purchase and sale agreement? for the ambulances.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I guess I would like to make a comment regarding MPS, and I think that we in Mill Creek Township are very fortunate to have Mill Creek paramedics working for us and keeping us safe and alive and being there when we need them. I know that there is a nationwide emergency service predicament, I'll call it. And I know that the industry has fallen on tough times, so it is remarkable that we have Mill Creek Paramedic here to count on when we need them most, and especially in our life-saving situations. So thank you for all you do for Mill Creek residents.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Next up, number 20 on our agenda, we have a Planning Commission appointment. Mr. Waldinger?
Thank you. There's currently an open seat on the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission due to the sudden and untimely passing of Linda McCabe. At the board's request, I spoke to David Skelly, who recently resigned from the commission after over 20 years of service, to see if he would be willing to serve out the remainder of Mrs. McCabe's term, which runs until January 15th, 2024. Mr. Skelly was agreeable to being reappointed to the commission. So at this time, I would recommend that the board appoint David Skelly to the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission to serve the remainder of Linda McCabe's term, expiring January 15th, 2024.
Thank you, Matt. Do I hear a motion on this?
So moved.
And I'll second.
Okay, this is clear.
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
This is not on our agenda, but it's Matt Waldinger would like to mention recent passing.
It is with sadness that I report that Mr. Louis C. Penna passed away on Saturday, March 11th at the age of 93. He was an educator and taught in the Mill Creek Township School District and served as principal at McDowell High School. Lou was also a member of the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission for 22 years, being appointed in July of 1981 and leaving the commission in August of 2003. We offer our deepest sympathies to Lou's family, and our thoughts and prayers are with them at this difficult time.
Thank you, Matt. Very well put. Under communications, we have treasurer communications. Mark? Anything?
Nothing further at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, looks like we have some hiring requests. First one is from Fleet Maintenance Mechanic. Rob?
Thank you. Fleet Maintenance is recommending approval of hiring John Abel. John has worked in the past with Waterford Township and PennDOT as a mechanic. He would have a start date of March 20th, 2023 at a rate of $20.56 per hour, and I would recommend his hiring.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the hiring of John Abel at $20.56 an hour for a mechanic?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we have a request from Parks and Rec. Spring employee approval. Ashley?
Thank you. The submitted employees and volunteers are requested to be approved for the spring 2023 season. These roughly 25 employees and volunteers are essential to carrying out the spring recreational offerings for the Parks and Recreation Department. The part-time employee wages are accounted for in the Parks and Recreation Department's operational budget. The wages suggested for each employee are based off of the approved pay wage scale by the Board of Supervisors. And it would be my recommendation to retain the submitted employees, again, approximately 25 of them for the spring 2023 session at the approved pay rates.
Okay, it looks like the pay rates range from $11.50 per hour up to $15 an hour?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions or comments on these seasonal hires?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, Okay, next on our agenda, we have a request for training and travel for Mr. Peterson. I can handle that. Looks like for APR certification training. The CRS department is seeking approval for Communications Coordinator Sam Peterson to begin studying for APR certification that is accredited in public relations. The APR will help Mill Creek Township Communications stay on top of industry trends and standards. It also provides a strong PR knowledge background, access to continued learning, and a community of PR professionals for guidance and expertise. The cost is approximately $460 for study materials, $195 for the study guide, and $385 for the final exam. This includes discounts earned from PRSA, Public Relations Society of America membership. The entire cost is $1,040. I'd like to make a motion to approve this training for Mr. Peterson.
And I'll second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Mr. Chairman, can I give a shout out to Mr. Peterson
Certainly.
for taking the initiative to do something like this and get the certification? So this is, again, this will only help all of us here at Mill Creek Township, so thank you.
Okay, we have a training request from Chief Mook.
Yes, I'm seeking approval to send 3 new SWAT officers, Detective Pastorati, Patrolman Drozdowski, and Patrolman Shapter, to the National Tactical Officers Association, NTOA, course titled Basic SWAT in Atlantic City. The training is April 17th through the 21st of April. This is a standard course offered by the NTOA for new SWAT officers. The course registration cost is $819 each for a total of $2,457. Additional travel costs are hotel, $1,608 for 2 rooms, 5 nights. Per diem, $1,017.75, which is the GSA rate for Atlantic City, and an estimated $275 for fuel.
Thank you, Chief. Is there a motion to approve this training request?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, we have another training request, I believe. Rob?
The sewer department is seeking approval to send 5 employees to a utility system management training on May 9th, 2023 at the Summit Township Water Authority building in Erie, PA. The employees attending are Mark Wells, Burt Mayo, Keith Lawson, Matt Stevens, and Clayton Cifelli. And this course will give these employees 6 credit hours towards maintaining their current water and wastewater licenses. Total cost per employee is $135, and there will be no travel expenses. Funds will be taken from the sewer department training expense budget. It is my recommendation to send these employees to this seminar.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Is there a motion for approval of this training request as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. And we have a training request from Ashley, Parks and Rec.
Thank you. The Parks and Recreation Department would like to send 2 employees, Scott Bridger and Phil Falbo, to continuing education and training seminar sponsored by Site 1 University on Thursday, March 16th, 2023. The fee for this seminar is $75 per person. The seminar is being held at the Zemzem Banquet and Conference Center on West 38th Street from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The seminar will include a full day of the latest green industry education, networking, and a supplier expo. Educational tracks will cover ergonomics, pest management, irrigation, lighting, and hardscapes. Attendees will receive continuing education credits for their Pennsylvania pesticide applicator licenses. Bridger and Falbo would travel together in a township vehicle to this seminar, and the total cost of the seminar for both employees is $150, which will come from the Parks and Recreation's operational budget as a training expense. It is my recommendation to approve Scott Bridger and Phil Falbo's attendance at the Site 1 University Spring Seminar.
Thank you, Ashley. Is there a motion to approve this training request?
So moved.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we have another training request From the Administration Department, approval is requested for Supervisors Dan Olet, Kim Clear, and Treasurer Mark Zaszewski to attend the 2023 Municipal Law Symposium on Wednesday, March 29th at the Ambassador Conference Center. That's in Erie, correct, right here?
Yes.
Locally, okay. There is no cost to attend this symposium. I didn't know, Dan, if you wanted to add anything else.
No, this is something that the Knox Law Firm puts on annually. It's very well attended and a very well done seminar, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve this training request.
Did you make the motion?
I did.
Oh, sorry, I'll second it then.
Okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, executive sessions were held on March 2nd and I have 9th on my agenda, but 8th on my cheat sheet. March 2nd and March 9th. On March 2nd, real estate matters relating to parks and rec facilities, utility easement, and PennDOT easement were discussed, as well as personnel matters concerning union matters. Also litigation regarding orphans court petition, tax assessment appeals, federal lawsuit, opioid settlement, and ordinance enforcement matters, and public safety at township facilities. On March 9th, real estate matters were discussed relating to parks and rec facilities, utility easements, and a PennDOT easement, as well as litigation concerning the orphans court petition, opioid settlement, and ordinance enforcement matters, and also public safety township facilities. I'd like to announce that the Mill Creek Township General Authority will be holding information session, 2 meetings on Tuesday, March 21st, 1 week from today, here in this assembly room at 9:30 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. Pardon? Pertains to whatever people want to discuss. Oh, that's okay, Jerry. I'm assuming West 8th Street will be discussed at those sessions and whatever else comes up. Okay, solicitor communications? Anything
Nothing further on my end.
Nothing further? Okay. Number 22 on our agenda is citizens to be heard. Anybody would like to speak? They can come up to the podium, sign in, state your name, and Mr. Waldinger, sign in, please. Oh, okay.
If I can just make one quick announcement before
Oh, go ahead,
citizens
Jess.
to be heard. The Millfair Compost Center opened yesterday for the 2023 season. We are open Monday, March 13th, yesterday, through Sunday, December 10th, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday, noon to 5 p.m. The center's located at 2301 Millfair Road, and we accept, for free from our residents, we accept leaf waste, shrubbery, brush, tree trimmings, and non-food garden residue that's then processed into mulch and for free. And anybody can take advantage of purchasing from Millfair. So it's not just Mill Creek and Fairview residents.
Okay.
Anybody from Erie County can come purchase and take advantage of the free products as well, too.
It's very economical. I know I've used it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any citizens to be heard?
Good morning. Good morning. Lou Aliotta. My address is on file. A couple of issues that I'd like to bring up, and thank you again for alerting the taxpayers and residents of Mill Creek that there will be a public forum on March 21st at 9:30 and at 5:30. I greatly appreciate it.
5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock, I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
9:35, okay.
5 o'clock, yes, thank you. Within the past 2 years, I have been more or less asking questions and submitting right-to-knows to various municipalities whether it's a school district or the Erie Regional Authority, Airport Authority. And I'm at the point right now where I have submitted an appeal to the Office of Open Records. And if you can recall, the county executive put out a memo to all municipalities in Erie County relative to conflicts of interest and other issues pertaining to the law. And when I did my research in asking for public information, I noticed that Tom Tepitzer is the president of the Knox Law Firm, and he was on the Board of Trustees at Perry Construction. Now, the Erie Regional Airport Authority does work, and they do have construction projects. Is there a general acceptance that a law firm, whether you have one attorney or 50 attorneys, do you have to disclose that? For instance, with McDonnell Illig, with a solicitor, Mark Shaw, do you actually review who is on what authority, what private corporation? Because that would be either a direct conflict of interest or an appearance of conflict of interest. So I'm bringing that to your attention because, as you are aware, and the taxpayers of Mill Creek Township are aware, that for 5 years, maybe a little over 5 years, that I asked the question at the school board meetings, maybe a dozen times in 5 years, is what you are doing legal? Well, Judge Daniel Brabender, Honorable Judge Brabender, declared that it was illegal what they were doing. And they spent over I would say approximately $200,000 in a lawsuit using taxpayer money. And just last night, I asked, how is the taxpayer going to receive that amount of money back into the public funds? And the answer I received from the solicitor, Tim Sennett, well, Mr. Aliotta, it's still under litigation. No, it's not under litigation. Judge Brabender has rendered his decision. So I'm going to ask a question. I probably will ask it again next week. Is what you have done, and I say, and I address the two supervisors and the solicitor, what you have done relative to establishing the authority, Mill Creek Township General Authority, is it legal? And did the supervisors receive a written legal opinion from the solicitor? Okay. Thank you again for the opportunity for my public comment under the freedom of speech amendment number 1. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wish to speak? Well, you hopped right out of your seat.
Well,
My name's Gerald Svidio, 1720 West Gore Road, Erie, PA. I'd like to ask Mr. Aliotta, what does Mill Creek School District have to do with Mill Creek Township and coming up here for like the third time? To me, if you come up here to speak, I think you should speak to Mill Creek Township. Now, whether they disagree with me or do not tell you, you know, what you did, you did. We all know it, if you pay any attention. We also have a responsibility to the township and to the school district, but two separate entities, I don't see the point in it, okay? To me, that's political talk, whatever you want to do. Don't waste, I feel as though you're wasting my time when you put that out there every time. We have better things to talk about with this township. You know, as far as these meetings, I don't know how open they're going to be. You need more parking. I'm parked down the road. And we didn't have that many people here today. I mean, I'm all the way down past your fence. Off to the side.
Jerry, just so you know, I just found out from someone who texted me that tried to come, there is absolutely no parking anywhere around because they're doing the food drive or a food pickup on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I did not even think about that. They actually went back and they're watching it from home right now.
Right.
So I had no idea. I am so sorry about that.
It's all right. I mean, I have to apologize. I mean, Mr. Aliotta is very up on things going on. And I have to apologize to you guys too, because when this all came up, I came right after you. I mean, I spoke to Mr. Sajeski, something like that. I spoke to all three supervisors, and I was ignorant to this authority, and so I apologize for not keeping up with this authority that was created. And I don't think any one of us, including myself, can put blame on anybody for, or at least we should take blame partially on ourselves for the purchase of these properties, whether we agree or disagree, where we have a no vote, and I appreciate the no vote, but at the same time too, there was a no vote with no discussion to the community. So to me, the no vote is good, but the failure with the no vote was not speaking out before you had the no vote. So I just want you to know, and I do appreciate all the things that Mr. Aliotta brings up. I think he's very well versed on township, but I again ask him and I thank him for his time, but I ask that he would, if I was sitting up there, I would point it out a little bit, but I'm a different person. So thank you for letting me talk. I appreciate it, and again, I apologize for my short-sightedness and not knowing what is happening in this township at times when I should know it. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Servideo. Anybody else wish to speak? Well, Dennis, we have someone behind you that came up.
While they're coming up, I just would like to let everybody know that I think for that Tuesday meeting on the 21st, to address this car issue or parking issue, I think what maybe we can do is we can have our employees all park maybe somewhere else, or maybe we can, we'll work on that though before the 21st is my point. So I apologize for that.
And follow up on the meeting that you mentioned, I raised my hand but not waved high enough. Will those two sessions be televised live like these other meetings so that people who cannot attend can hear and see what's been happening? And then the follow-up to that is, will the general authority meetings be televised? It was asked at the last meeting too. So that's not part of my presentation.
Oh,
it's just a
okay,
follow-up
okay,
question.
all right. I'll answer, even though I know we're not supposed to answer when you guys talk. I apologize. But I will answer that because we haven't started your time. Yes, so Sam and I, we didn't have discussion. I know there was a right to know, and I know I probably don't have to say this, but it was a verbal discussion that we had. And yes, so that is the plan moving forward. We're going to have televised events for the general authority and for that meeting as well.
The
Yes.
22nd?
Or 21st, I think it is.
21st and 22nd.
And then the 22nd for the actual general authority meeting at 3 o'clock.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
Okay. Mary Ellen Majok. This is a letter to the Mill Creek Township General Authority and township citizens. This group, some of us are here, of concerned citizens states for the record that the building at 2818 West 8th Street was recently a business known as Grasshopper West. It was researched to have been an 1865 schoolhouse in which young children of rural West Mill Creek Township were educated. Indicated as schoolhouse number 2 on the 1865 Atlas of Erie County by Beers, the building dates to the close of the American Civil War. While historical research into the building is ongoing, some of its history is well documented through a property record from the 1950s when Mrs. Rose Hawkins purchased the building to open an antique store. It is also cited in the history of Mill Creek Schools Through the Ages by Patty Polifrone, 1982. I'm sorry, Patricia. Archive newspaper clippings and history book citations are being collected. 1920 era photographs have been provided by the grandson of Mrs. James Kit Proudler, a distinct and prominent Mill Creek School District leader. We support the overall vision of Mill Creek Township's Presque Isle Gateway District Plan to create an aesthetically enhanced entrance corridor to Presque Isle State Park, an ecological and recreational jewel. The plans call for, and these are from the plan, gateway enhancements, as well as community-based public-private collaborative approach to advance implementation is to be applauded. We further commend its aspiration to establish uniquely identifying features that would stand in contrast to the largely, in the plan's own words, nondescript nature of much of what the West 8th Street corridor. We believe that the schoolhouse is one of the lone, uniquely identifying features on West 8th Street. It is one that exudes a distinctive sense of place of Mill Creek Township's history as a classic American farm community that attended to the education of its children. It could be transformed into a signature welcoming site, a charming enhancement for the Gateway District. Further, we believe that the best location for the schoolhouse is in its original location, and no attempt should be made to relocate it elsewhere. Doing so detracts from and compromises its integrity and historic significance to the Gateway. Another research discovery was that a newer schoolhouse exists across the street from this schoolhouse number 2. The Manor Motel was built around and over a second schoolhouse building, perhaps called the Scott School. This alone underscores the importance of protecting the historical context of this cultural landscape. It is precisely in that spirit that we propose that the Mill Creek Township Supervisors hold a community design charrette, which is a planning meeting, to consider how the historic former schoolhouse number 2 or Laird School might be imaginatively integrated into the Gateway District Plan. Typically facilitated by an architectural team, design charrettes are intended to engage community residents and officials in an organized brainstorming session centered on finding a viable new purpose for a historic structure. This would be a specialized meeting guided by architects. We are convinced that the Gateway District Plan would be further strengthened by drawing on the vision and ideas of township residents. One area resident, Megan Collins, drives by the schoolhouse every day and believes the building embodies the identity of Erie County. It offers, she says, a sense of stability, of community pride, a tangible link from the past into the present and toward future generations. To demolish such a lovely part of history in a spot that she's come to love is unthinkable. Megan is far from alone. Nearly 2,500 individuals have signed a petition calling on the township to save and adaptively reuse the schoolhouse. Our position is informed by more than sentimentality. Studies by the National Trust for Historic Preservation demonstrate that heritage tourists in America, those who seek out and visit historic and cultural sites of local authenticity, stay longer and spend more money than the average tourist, 4.7 versus 3.4 days per visit. The Erie County Cultural Heritage Plan, which calls for the protection and incorporation of the county's historical and cultural assets into economic revitalization planning, further underscores that point. As James Howard Kunstler has written, as places across America lose their unique character, more and more we Americans have longed for a sense of permanence, of place. We hunger for places that emanate distinctiveness of shared generational community memory, places where we can still identify our common ground as Americans, places where we see the linkage of past, present, and future, places that remind us that we are in the present, are now accountable for the story. Thus, we are confident that the incorporation of an authentic place like the schoolhouse will augment, not diminish, the township's economic goals of extended visitation and a more robust economic activity in the West 8th Street corridor. We would welcome an opportunity to collaborate with the township in organizing a community charrette that we believe would enhance the Presque Isle Gateway District Plan. Do I need somebody else to come up and finish for me? I hear the timer. Okay. This is signed by 21 Mill Creek County residents. Do you want me to read them for the public record? Okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
Sorry, I have to pull up my phone. Ann Silverthorne, retired. Becky Bible, community parent volunteer, Save the Tracy School. Carol Blake, community parent volunteer, Save the Tracy School. Carolyn Scalise, Terra, retired, Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. Kathleen Riggle. Chris Majok, PhD, professor, Mercyhurst University. Fred Garden, DED, retired, business manager, Mill Creek Township School District. Georgiana Nicholson Ellie, retired, Department of Welfare. Ginger Kist, community parent volunteers, Save the Tracy School. Jacqueline Fiddler Garden, former Mill Creek Township School District elementary teacher. Jeffrey I. Blake, MD, retired cardiologist. Me, Mary Ellen Majok, retired Department of Veterans Affairs. Megan Collins, Erie County resident. Michael Resch, retired PennDOT. Patricia Polifrone, PhD. Patrick Proudler, retired police lieutenant and author. Richard Weber, retired Erie Sports Stores. Richard Scarpitti, retired principal, Tracy Elementary. Susan Weber, former Mill Creek supervisor and Erie County controller. Theodore Ely, retired attorney. Verl Salmon, retired superintendent, Mill Creek Township School District. Chairman Bach, I will forward you this email for the record and for the authority members and ask, will you forward this along with the petition to the authority members for their consideration?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, anybody else wish to speak? Dennis?
Dennis McAndrew, 1547 High Street. I feel bad after such an eloquent pre-plan. But I attend a lot of these meetings, and I do realize the need for the ongoing issue with the fire and lack of volunteers and stuff. Sorry. How's that? The sound system's horrible. I've complained about this for quite some time. I know they can hear, but no one else can. How's that? I don't know about anyone else, but I received my tax bill, and I received the In Mill Creek magazine, and in there it stated, well, again, how the tax for the fire department is going to be a line item. I received my tax bill. I looked, I don't see it anywhere. I did see a millage increase, and I don't remember any of a vote being done for a millage increase. And once again, perception and reality, two different things, I realize. But when you put in print, it's going to be one way, and then the other way it's not. It looks bad. And it looks like you guys voted for a tax increase in a backdoor way, going back to what he was saying about, is it legal? I don't remember a vote being done to raise the millage. I do remember a vote being done to put a line item in the bill. And I don't know if maybe it was some kind of timing issue or whatever, but the perception is deceptive. The reality might be different. I just want it on record that it looks bad. And if it's a millage thing, then for next year, more expensive homes, less, it's not going to be applied equally then? Or is it going to be a line item and show up and raises, like what he was saying, is it legal? Are we opening up a can of worms for trouble? Is it going to cost more money to fix something that was unintentionally done, maybe by accident? Because, I was quite surprised to see that my bill went up more than $20-some.
Dennis, I was surprised as well when I opened my tax bill. The first thing I looked for was, where's the fire tax? Didn't see it. Looked at the millage, got my last year's tax bill, compared them, saw that it went up. Did the math, 11% increase. Not cool.
No.
I'm right with you. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's not listed separately. Maybe someone here can answer it, because I have the same questions you do.
Because, it does look bad. And I don't know, maybe you can get all his lawyers,
I
costs
don't
a lot of money maybe. by
At any
a
of our
simple
meetings,
mistake.
I don't recall voting for a general tax millage increase. I do recall a fire tax vote, which I voted no. I do recall that. If someone has a different recollection, I don't know, maybe Mark.
Okay,
Yeah,
thought
I agree. We did not vote for a millage increase to raise taxes. We did vote for a fire tax to be responsible to our residents, the fire service.
And I'm not saying
But
that that's not
I think it might be able to be explained by our treasurer.
Dennis, if you notice, the bills are different this year.
I did.
The county changed their software. The county is the one that produces the bills, because we jointly issue the county and local tax. And so they're pretty much responsible for what goes on that bill.
So I need
And
to
they
go
did
to-
not leave a space for anything additional.
So you're trying to say it's a clerical error or intentional error? Perception and reality sometimes aren't the same.
It's out of our hands. We don't control how the bills are produced.
So does someone need to go to the county and ask them to put it in there?
We can ask, we didn't even see the bills until they come out. There's,
I'm not saying that the fire tax is not needed. What I'm saying, though, is the perception of the way this was done doesn't look good. And I think we might inadvertently be opening ourselves up to a lot of issues.
I agree.
know I wasn't
I
happy.
agree, and I think that our treasurer is going to go ahead and investigate this and make sure that it is going to be a separate line item from this point forward.
I can't guarantee that. It's, the county produces these bills. I can't
So do I
force
need-
the county to change their methodology. I can look into it and provide an answer.
Okay.
But I can't guarantee going forward that there'll be a separate line item.
Okay, well, maybe we need to talk to the right people to make sure that that gets done then.
Right, because it's looking like it wasn't maybe done properly, and not that I'm going to, but maybe someone else might get the bright idea of suing over all this, that it's being done improperly, and there again, more cost because we didn't dot our I's and cross our T's. And I'm complaining about this, and I wouldn't. A lot of other people are so busy working and doing their side hustles and gigs and working 3 or 4 jobs to pay. The government is one of the leading causes of inflation right now. And so everyone's so busy paying their taxes, they're so busy working when maybe, if we weren't so overtaxed on all these, not just local, but all these other fees and service charges and everything else, don't take people's apathy for not noticing. Like, I talked to several of my neighbors, they didn't even notice. They're like, oh, I just gave it to my bank. And my monthly payment went up. They don't care, or they just don't notice because they're just so busy. I did. And I imagine there eventually maybe some other people will. And then it's going to blow up, and I hate when I hear, well, we didn't think this would happen. No one thought about it. Well, that's what someone's supposed to do. And I'm just afraid that this is going to blow up and cost more in the long run. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis. Anyone else wish to speak under citizens to be heard? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second, okay. We are adjourned at 10:51. Thank you.